Well, hey, y'all. Somebody said with that intro song that I should wear my wide brim hat because it made more sense. So here we are today. It's a beautiful day, so we're taking a walk. And we've been talking about finishing up today building the domestic church. So the domestic church, the universal church, is all about building a life of grace. And so in the home, in the domestic church, in our families, it's also about building a life of grace. And so first we just have to take and make time for family time. And we've talked about different ways to let that grace be built this week. Build a home altar. That was kind of our first deal, a way of building a center for the family to come around. We've talked about prayer. We've talked about the saints. We've talked about scriptures, all different ways that you can build family time around what is the domestic church, finding ways to let that grace into all these different venues. So find the different ways of family time which you can continue to do that. Begin building new habits. Begin breaking the old habits this time that while we're at home, it allows us to break some of those old habits. That was an old, Linkin Park's Breaking the Habit? Some old band anyway. But as then we do that, we now begin to build new habits. And in these new habits, maybe now that you find yourself at home all the time, people are doing a lot of different things. Some people are taking walks as families now. Some people are building a project, like taking a project with either a spouse or a child or something, going outside building it or dedicating time where that bond within the family, within that domestic church can be built. So find different ways that you can come and do that. Maybe it's something you, in your family time, maybe it's a certain day or time of the week where you watch a movie together. Maybe it's a night of board games or puzzles, something that your family likes to do. Begin to look at those and try new and different things. That is the great adventure, as we would say, of life. So find, why do we do those things? Why do we look for these different avenues? We do that because at the end of the day, it's a beautiful big world. And we're looking for ways to find God's grace in it. His grace is always there. It's always available for us. And so we have to find ways to foster those things which are eternal. We look into the home, into the domestic church, and we say, okay, these are eternal souls. My wife, my husband, my children, my parents, all these people, eternal souls that we are now in charge of to foster. So what are the ways that I can do that? Playing video games all day doesn't foster that. Not talking or being with our families doesn't foster that. Now we're kind of forced into this exile into our homes, and it gives us a chance to say, okay, let's do it. So you've had some things this week to how to build the domestic church. So I encourage you, pick one, pick something small, be faithful to it in these days that come. We're probably going to be in this for quite a few more weeks, so we got lots of time to practice. So I encourage you to do that this week. This is it for this week of building the domestic church. Join us next week, Monday through Friday, at 5, where we will begin some new series on Holy Week. So hopefully that'll be something that you can be around to enjoy as well. Have a great weekend. Be prudent, be safe, be prayerful. We'll see you soon.